Hello, everybody. I'm Dave Sims, Mariner broadcaster, and welcome you to Mariners Black Voices in Baseball. We've got some great guests with us here today on the 19th of June as we celebrate Juneteenth, and we talk about blacks in baseball right now and these gentlemen's experience. First, we have Kyle Lewis, Mariner outfielder, Dee Gordon, Mariner infielder, shortstop J.P. Crawford, and Mariner infielder Shed Long with us here today. And guys, June 19th, 1865 was when the last group of slaves, they were in Galveston, Texas, and they finally got word that slavery had been ended 2 years prior. And it's been celebrated as Juneteenth ever since then. But I got to tell you, I probably was into early adulthood before I even heard that story. It's so many things that we don't hear about our Black history, but that's a whole nother thing. We want to talk about your experiences being young Black men in Major League, in baseball, working your way through the minor leagues to the show. And Dee, you're the senior man here. You're the dean of the group here. Why don't you get this thing started, man? I was just curious, just an overall comment of what it's been like, because our numbers are small, just 68 guys last year in the major leagues.
First off, I think I speak for everyone on the panel because we're all the current players. And I just want to say, we're scared to say this. We're not like gun-ho about saying this. We're nervous, and the reason we're nervous is because we've been told our whole life and our whole career to don't say anything, don't ruffle any feathers, don't pretty much stand up for yourself as a man, you know what I'm saying, and your family's name. My experience is half of the reason I didn't play baseball until high school. That's why I wanted to play basketball. It was easier. It was easier to be the man on the basketball court. In high school, I was our best hitter. I'm the only second. There's only two major leaguers from my hometown, and it's my dad and I. I didn't even play in an all-star game. That starts there. And it continued up through college, the minors. It's been tough. Being a Black baseball player isn't easy at all.
Any specific examples or anecdotes that you could share?
I had a manager, and I'm not gonna say on what level. I had a manager tell me, in not so many words, he'd rather take a white player than myself. He put it in a different way, saying, Do I like football? He asked me, do I like football? And I said, yes, sir, I do. He said, the Black quarterback, the one who can win you some games, he can do some things, he can run around, but he makes too many mistakes. I'd rather take the white quarterback who's not going to lose me any games. And that hurt. That definitely hurt. Like, if that in itself, that's part of it. And it hurts, I could talk about just looking at the comments for the Mariners post. The things that are said by people who want our autographs are absolutely horrible. But if I don't sign little Johnny's ball, his day is ruined. But this is what you're teaching little Johnny. That's what being Black in baseball is. Okay.
All right. Kyle, you got 18 games under your belt. Player of the Year a few years ago, coming out of Mercer, number one choice of the Mariners. Your experience is not as wide and varied as Dee, but what have you experienced to this point?
Coming up through high school and kind of being a relative late bloomer, really thought that I was going to be able to explode onto the scene late in my high school career, early college career, and just wasn't really able to get any recognition. Nobody was cutting me any slack. I was getting labeled as raw in situations where I had more advanced hitting skills and whatnot, than a lot of my counterparts. And I'm always getting labeled as raw, getting slapped, titles that I felt like didn't apply, and then coming up through the minor leagues in a certain season, I'm doing really well, getting chirped by the fans, but, you know, that's normal things, I'm thinking. And I get back to my locker, and there's a ball in my locker that says "Learn to swim." And nobody said anything. Everybody's sitting around tight-lipped, you know, and wasn't really getting a lot of support from my teammates, you know, as if none of them supposedly knew what happened, and somehow nobody had any idea, you know, and only people that would have had access to that deep into the locker room would have been probably a teammate, you know, and you know, ever since then, that's always kind of stuck with me a little bit, and that stung pretty good.
You feel like you're walking through a minefield. Yeah. JP, what about you?
I thankfully I never really had to deal with anything crazy like my fellow teammates here, but just growing up, I was always that one black kid on the team where I'm from, and my dad always told me and my sister, you know, we always got to be better. I always got to be one step better, always one step ahead at all times, because, you know, it's not fair. You make one little mistake, you're done. It's sad to say, but we don't get the chances. We don't get all that stuff that other people get. So my dad taught us, you know, always stay ready, stay sharp, and, you know, don't let this opportunity slip away at all, because this is literally, you get one chance. You get one chance. You're already down 2 strikes. This is your last strike. You know what I'm saying? So it's just tough, man.
Shit, I met your mom and dad. I'm sure they taught you these same lessons, right?
Definitely did. I mean, you know, growing up in Alabama, you know, I went through a lot. I mean, I had situations in high school. I had situations growing up as a kid, you know, where I didn't get picked on the team just because they didn't want any black kids on the team. Or, you know, even in high school, at the end of my high school career, they picked like the player of the year for where we're from. And I mean, my stats was unbelievable, and I was the one that got drafted from where we're from. Nobody else had ever got drafted out of high school. And I didn't even win like player of the year. I didn't get any like honorable mention for all state. Like, it was crazy. But I mean, it was only for one reason. It was just because of the color of my skin, you know, and everyone knew that. And still to this day, it's like people ask me like, how were you never talked about? And you're the person that's around here that's in the big leagues. Like, we don't have anybody else that's in the pros. And like, I mean, there was a school 2 minutes away from my house that didn't even offer me. You know, so it was just stuff like that growing up, and it kind of molded me, and I kind of like just dealt with what it was, and I'm just like, okay, this is what it is, and it is what it is. So when I got into pro baseball, there were situations that would happen, racist situations, but it's like, that's the way the world is, you know. I mean, I grew up in it so much, it's just like I'm numb to it, you know. It's like you see it and you keep on moving.
I hear you. I tell you what, this opening round here on this round table certainly establishes the fact that all 4 of you guys, strong in character, to have reached where you are to this point and onward and upward from here. And there's all kinds of crazy things. Let me get back to something that's a little bit more on the front page. The murders of Rayshard Brooks, George Floyd, countless others. It certainly has awakened a lot of people in America. We as black people can say, hey, this has been going on for 400 years. We've been telling you that. And now you believe it's because it's been videotaped. But do you think this is a watershed moment where maybe things could possibly make a turn for the better? I mean, the whole world, you know, it's a phrase from the 60s, but the whole world is watching. And the whole world reacted to the just inhuman death of George Floyd. May he rest in peace. Where do we go from here, guys?
I'm just happy we have cameras, because if no one has cameras, we wouldn't even be here. You know what I'm saying? If no one captures that, it's not going to get talked about. Who knows how many other videos or how many other incidents happen where it wasn't caught on camera, and, you know, cops go home and, you know, go to sleep, fine. You know, I'm pretty sure they're numb to it too. And for some families, they don't have their daddy no more, just because he didn't have his blinker on, or just because he didn't stop all the way. You know what I'm saying? It's unreal, man.
And you shake your head all the time. Kyle, what your thoughts?
I mean, you know, being in Atlanta and seeing the highways get shut down the way they were yesterday and 2 days ago, and seeing the outcry, especially after this happened, you know, a few weeks after the George Floyd situation happened, I really feel like the energy is changing. The energy is a lot different than in the past, where it's been a lot of outrage. But I think now you're seeing a lot of groups really come together to really try to make things happen. And those are ultimately, I would say, mostly peaceful, mostly, unified groups trying to come together as a group, which I feel like is something that, is a lot different and has the potential to be something great.
Dee?
Yeah, I think we're definitely trying to get some change. And I'm glad we're able to use our platform finally to speak up. Like I said earlier, that's a scary thing because you can ask my counterparts here, we've all been told, don't say nothing or you may lose your job. And at the end of the day, that's what we're here to do, take care of our families. And I think with our platform being able to be used now, and we'll be able to hopefully get some change. I know we still have a long way to go. As like I said, you can even read the comments on our own organization's Instagram, but at least we starting somewhere. You know what I'm saying? It's not just going to go back to, oh, well, because just another guy just died yesterday. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Like, we're out here protesting. We're told to protest peacefully, and then somebody else gets killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, that makes it hard. It makes it hard for all of us. It makes us, angry. And hopefully our anger and our words can finally be spoken and heard.
Hey, let me toss this one out. You guys are 4 of 10 black players in a 40-man roster. I don't have to look at any research to dig this up. I know that's the biggest group of African Americans on one major league 40-man roster coming into the 2020 season with what we're going to have of it. Sense of pride, what's your reaction to that? I know for me, I've told you how I felt when I've seen all you guys together. It just made my heart just filled with joy. I mean, it was like, I treasure the picture we took back in September. But, tell the folks what it sheds. Let's start with you. What's it mean to have, and this is not saying that, you have good, you have good relationship with, the other players and everything, but to have 10 guys similar, more or less similar backgrounds on the same team.
I mean, honestly, it means a lot to me just because I want to see more blacks in baseball, and so for it to be on one team, especially in the big leagues on one team, it's amazing. It's truly a blessing, honestly. Like, it makes you more comfortable. You're always more comfortable when you're around someone that's like you. And so it's a thing of comfort, and it's just I guess, like, satisfaction of, like, we actually have some blacks that's coming into the game. And, we now have somebody that the kids in our community can look up to. If they see us unifying, I feel like that's going to give them hope to unify together and do something that they think can't be done.
Dealing with guys from other regions of the country, different ways of thinking, largely what has been your interaction with the white players over the course of your careers? Dee, you're the veteran here and everybody else has got limited experience, but what's that been like?
It's like anything else. It has its good days, and it definitely has its bad days. There's been times, as we all know, I'm a scrapper. I've had to fight for my respect. And there, in high school, we had the white boys versus the 3 black boys fight one time. Like, it's been like that. And so to make it to here after they wanted to kick me off the team for that, like, it's even more satisfying. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely been up and down. There are definitely teammates who are some of my best friends and always will be. But there are definitely some guys where you just like there's a funny thing, like, and it's a joke to them. Like Kyle said, the learn how to swim thing, right? I've had teammates come up to me and, and everybody know I have real good quick comebacks on anything. And a teammate will be like, D, like, say you're getting in the sauna for a game. D, you sure you can swim? And, it's a joke to him, but my comeback is, don't forget my dad played the 21 years in the show. We always had a pool. Like, that's my comeback. You know what I'm saying? Like
Good for you.
now I hurt your privilege because your parents didn't grow up with a pool. But we didn't have to do that if you was didn't have to say that. If you wanted to talk to me, speak to me. D, what's up, man? You getting ready for the game? I speak to everybody. If you ain't got nothing to say, don't say nothing stupid. That's usually how it happens.
Yeah, it can escalate from there. For you other guys, JP and Kyle and Shed, the dynamic since you've been in Seattle has been good.
Oh yeah, we definitely don't take this for granted. We talk about this all the time, man. Like you said, it's something that's probably never been done since the Negro Leagues. We talk about it all the time in the clubhouse, and I'm proud to be a part of this. You know, I'm proud to be playing alongside with each and every one of my teammates right here because, you know, who knows when it's gonna ever happen again. If it ever does, I know coming up, we were probably like one of the two brothers on the team in the minor leagues, if that. You know what I'm saying? So just to be a part of this is something special.
Yeah, the interaction's been good, Kyle. I mean, I know you're tight with a lot of guys on the ball club who aren't African American, and I'm not trying to do a dividing line. I'm just trying.
No, you're not.
Yeah, no, it's overall it's good. I mean, it's welcoming, it's cool. You know, I feel like the team is really makes efforts to like connect on different avenues. Guys are free to voice their opinions and have healthy debate about it. You know, sometimes, you know, naturally, I think as human nature, lines get crossed, but overall, I really don't have any, you know, complaints so far. It's a blessing. It's fun to be around.
Shed, you were talking about the fact that, you know, such a dearth of black players. How do we get more kids involved and interested to get in baseball? Let's say at the high school level, and then hopefully, you know, get guys work their way up the ladder. Or D, you want to take it first? Whoever wants to jump on.
Yes, I got something. Sorry, Shed. I got something.
He's a senior.
Like I spoke to our ownership when I spoke to our ownership, and you guys were all there. I said it, and it's a long shot, but I know that this is going to be posted. So if we want little kids, black kids, to play baseball, I honestly feel, and I've talked to a bunch of my brothers on this, and we can all agree at this point in time, since everybody's favorite player that they show on TV isn't us, you know, we got the most black players, but we live in Seattle. You know what I'm saying? And we're not going to be exposed to a national TV audience, no matter how good anyone else does. You understand what I'm saying? But I think if we honestly, wholeheartedly, like I said, it's a long shot. MLB, I know it's a long shot. But if we could get an all-black World Baseball Classic team and our black culture could follow us and get to know baseball and see baseball for the fun game it is. I'd be having these inter-squad games, and I got my football friends coming out, and they're like, man, y'all having a good time. I thought baseball was boring. It's not as boring as you think if you get the right audience. And I think that would be big because it takes one little black kid whose friend plays baseball to see one of us ball out on national TV and we become his favorite player. I am a lot of little skinny black kids' favorite player. I get DMs, text messages, phone calls all the time. I am a lot of their favorite player, but they can't see me all the time. Right. They need to see the Mookie Betts, the David Prices. Like, they need to see the best players that show them that we are good. And one of them can be good. That's what you got to keep doing to inspire them. We're not going to inspire anything if we have 68 of us. How about get all 68 of us together and honestly, let us just go show the world how talented you can be as a black baseball player if you want the game to grow, but that's on you at that point.
Wow. Hey, that's an interesting thought. It really is. Why not? Nothing to lose.
Why not? There's nothing to lose at this point.
Yeah.
If you really say that you're holding it down, hold it down.
In terms of black fans, we don't see a lot of black fans in the ballpark. How do we get more moms and dads? I know tough economic times, especially now, but how do we get more folks involved and excited about baseball and come out and watch Major League Baseball in Seattle and all over the major leagues? JP, anybody? Shed, you want to take it?
I'll take it. I think there's got to be more advertisement with like black faces on it. You know, in most of the commercials, you know, you rarely see any other black players. I mean, we only got 68 of them, so how hard is it to put at least one on each commercial? You know what I mean? It's going to be more commercials than players. So, I mean, for me, I think that it's just got to be publicly. We have to be more on the forefront publicly in the public eye for them to catch their eye, you know?
Kyle, you agree? We agree? Want to add to that?
No, I agree with that. I think it's all exposure. It's all exposure showing, maybe things personally, like personal, allowing us to speak our truths, doing like some behind the scenes documentaries, getting those out there so that we get those pushed so kids can see, ways how we train, how we work out, how we interact. Maybe like some banter, talking to each other during the game, things like that, being mic'd up, all that kind of stuff.
I'm a generation or two older than you guys, but this means a lot to me. That idea of showing what you guys do. Black players work as hard or harder than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And these
we kill ourselves.
That people in my business have used for years. Oh, he's real talented. Yeah, guess what? He's worked his butt off, too. The skills that you guys have in baseball, I mean, baseball, hitting a baseball is probably one of the toughest things, being successful at it in all the sports. So I think that the mindset has to get away from, you guys are talented, but you work as hard. I've heard this so many times. I mean, as a sports talk show host, a writer, play-by-play guy, and just as an American, I hear this all the time. You guys never get enough, as a group, get enough credit for advancing and enhancing the talent that you're born with.
We're never. I feel like if I'm honest, like you just said, we're never called baseball players. We're always called athletes. And that's not fair. It's not fair to me. I could play every sport. That's your fault. You can't play every sport. But I'm good at baseball. Like, I'm here. You got to see me. Like, I'm here. I'm everybody's in the world's favorite player, but you can't even respect me in the same dugout or in the front office. Like, no, we're not just athletes. We're baseball players. And I think every one of us is pretty darn good because we've been told you can't come up here and come off the beach. You got to start. You got to be a superstar. My dad preached that to me when I was like 3 or 4. I was like, I don't even want to play that.
Don't exist in baseball anymore. They haven't since, I think, the late Tony Phillips hung him up. Mark Mclemore was a utility player, could play multiple positions. But, you have to be a flat-out star to be able to. You got
to be a flat-out star to stay. They're not going to give you years of being a utility guy. No.
Yeah.
Your skills are too elite for that. You got to do something different.
Yeah,
but they won't say that in the same breath, though.
Let me turn the page. Give me some things, good things that have happened to you guys since you've been, a professional baseball player.
Perry Hill.
Kyle would add to it, but he's an outfielder. But all the infielders, major problem with Perry Hill, yeah. And tell the folks like Perry Hill's our first base coach and infield coach par excellence. He and Ron Washington are two of my favorite coaches I've ever been around in any sport all the years I've been around, for the personality and the way they connect with you guys and inspire you guys to get the work in and do it well and improve.
I got 2 more to say. I'm sorry. John Valentin, Frank Menachino.
All right.
Because I personally, this is why I see these 3 guys, because they don't see my color, and they will jump on my ass if I do anything wrong. Not jump on me just to jump on me. They will jump on me if I did something wrong.
So technique-wise.
Yes.
It's approach.
Do this better. Do that better. Stop doing this. You're you tripping. Like, I respect that.
Yeah, you raised your hand as soon as Perry Hill, and so did JP. Let's start with you, Shed. As soon as you mentioned Perry Hill, you started smiling, and it's like, thumbs up.
Hey, for sure. I mean, I second everything that Dee said. I mean, he literally doesn't see the color. I talk to this dude so much. And, I mean, he's a great guy. No matter what, he cares about you for the person that you are. And that's all you can ask for.
And he's taking JP's taking your game up another notch like he has the other guys, right?
No doubt. He definitely saved my career, man. He just always holds you accountable. And, you could call him at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., he's going to answer. He's one of those coaches that you could go to for anything. And he's got your back. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those guys you just know he's got you in anything. And, you don't get a lot of those at all.
Kyle, how about who's been a biggest influential coach in your career, even going back to college and up through the minor leagues, up to the big leagues?
I give a lot of credit to Mike Cameron. Mike Cameron has been a great mentor for me, and I think
color.
Okay, another color. Mitch Cannon was a coach we had. Mitch Cannon was a great coach as well. He's like a mentor still. I call him all the time. He was my coach in high A and double A last year, and that's a person that he really changed my life. He used to sit me down and really get on to me about being a better man, how to carry yourself when you walk out the locker room, when you go home. And we would have countless talks, about that kind of stuff. And that's something that, I think about all the time. Make sure to send them Christmas cards and whatnot. And just a great, great person.
It's interesting. It's a thread that I hear a lot. You guys said, hey, made me a better man. I've heard you guys, when we've spoken previously, talk about, where were you and where did he take you to?
For myself, I was angry. I was a little angry black guy running around. Anytime anybody said something a little crazy to me, I was ready to go off. I had just got traded from LA literally for no reason, I felt at the point. So I was angry for even being there. And he told me to trust him. Bone literally said, Perry Hill, excited to work with you. And he's like, I just need you to trust me. And I told him the truth. I was like, from what I just went through, I'm not trusting nobody. I don't care to trust anybody right now. I'm not trusting no one. And he's like, I'm going to earn your trust. I was like, well, you better. He earned my trust the first day. The first day we worked out together. Me and him went on the backfield, and he earned my trust.
Strong story. Anybody else?
Wow. I got one, Dave.
Yeah, there you go.
For me, coming up through the minor leagues, I never really had a coach of the opposite race really like praise me, or like not even just praise, because I'm not looking for the praise. It's just like he would tell me when I'm doing good. You know what I mean? It was not always something that was negative. So, I mean, honestly, when I got with him and saw the way that he was working, and for him to come in and do that and actually tell me, like, I see your progress, I see you working, I see you're trying to get better, I mean, it meant a lot. And it showed me, like, that he actually cared, and he didn't care who I was,
Wow. Well, that's a great endorsement. JP, last thing on Perry.
Yeah, when I got traded over here 2 Decembers ago, whenever I got traded over here, had a tough year, was hurt a lot, and was lost on the field. I don't know what was going on. I couldn't make a throw to first base without throwing the nastiest two-seam of my life. Everything was just going bad. Everything was going wrong. And I remember coming over here in the offseason, they made me come out to Arizona early. And I was kind of mad, That's my offseason, my time to chill with the family, be at home. And he's like, Perry Hill, he's going to come out and work with you. He wants, to see what's going on. And I was like, all right, whatever. I'm down. So I drove out there and instantly, got my confidence back. We took ground balls one day and instantly got my confidence back. He just gave me all the baby details, like just funnel the ball. And it's really simple. And he got me back on track, and he really got that confidence back up to, what, I'm an elite shortstop. I could do this stuff. I could do what Javier Baez is doing. I could do what everyone else is doing in the league. And I just thank him for that. Because he really got that confidence back in me. And, I thank him for that. He really saved me. I don't kid on that. He really saved my career.
Dave. Y'all see that right there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I bought him one too.
Nice.
You can ask him about it.
The Gold Glove.
He has one. Yes, sir. He has one.
Nice.
This is
Let me
for real.
get back to something that we talked about at the top, and particularly in light of what's going on in the news, Black Lives Matter. I know, obviously, we're all in on that. I'd seen a story recently, last couple of days, about Bruce Maxwell. I remember him, the catcher with the A's, and he took a knee. It was 3 years ago. I think it was a game we might have been at their place. Any stances on that? Anything along those lines going to happen?
We're gonna see.
Okay.
Honestly, we just, we're gonna do what we have to do. We're gonna stand. Me and the older guys have gotten together with these younger guys. We've gotten on one accord about it. We want to be the generation that changed this.
Hear. Yeah.
I think all of us come in agreement, and the guys on this panel could as well. If we're the grown-ups that change the world, man, that'll be so enlightening. It's like Jackie Robinson, what he did all over again. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's time for that. We celebrate Jackie's day, but
it's one day, and then we don't do anything after that, right?
And then we can go out on the 16th and hear that a unarmed black man got killed. But I'm supposed to come back in the locker room smiley and stuff. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So we're definitely going to do something, though, because we want this change.
Yeah, hear. If you had a chance to sit down with the commissioner, Rob Manfred, what other kind of stuff would you want to throw on the table for consideration?
I'm all for the idea of having BP shirts, making BP shirts. And the thing I want to do is, start having kids from inner cities coming down for VP and just putting them on the field, just having them look. Because I know when I was a little kid, a big league field is a dream come true. And to be on the dirt, just looking down, watching people hit BP, bro, that would change a lot of minds, I think. Just to have them feel like a major league player for a day, I think would change a lot of minds, too.
That's a great idea, because generally when I see guys around the cage, when I'm down there with you guys, and it's usually families of sponsors and whatnot, which is all good.
Right.
Hey,
we got to pay the bills. You got to pay the bills.
Hey, absolutely. To everybody's support, thank you. Keep it going.
Right.
But I think that's a great idea, because that would, again, we got to get the coolness factor of baseball into the minds of those kids.
Right.
And that would start, man. And
you guys even have them shagging BP, have them hang out, talk with us on the field, man. I think just having them being around us would change their ways. But, you guys are actually really cool. This isn't boring,
Right. It happens, Dave, when kids come from my Flash of Hope thing, and it's a lot of, minority families that come. And first thing, when I meet the kid in the beginning, he's like, I don't like baseball. It's boring. By the time they leave, I get an email from the mom. Oh, my gosh, my son's going to try baseball. He loved it. He had such a great time. But at 3 o'clock, he hated it. 3 o'clock when a big leaguer was talking, sitting down, having a conversation with him, he absolutely hated everything about it until he saw the game.
Yeah.
All it takes is one combo, man.
One. It takes one. It takes one time to see for someone to become your favorite player, like it was when I saw Jimmy Rollins. It takes one time. My dad played for 20 years. Only one player. Bo Jackson's my goddad, and he didn't even make me want to play. Jimmy Rollins made me want to play baseball.
Because he's built like you.
Sort of. You understand? Right, and balling out.
Yeah. Great career. MVP, World Series champion. Kyle, who was the first big leaguer that, white or black, but that specifically black for this occasion, that influenced you to want to get into the game? Was there one guy, or was it a dad maybe?
Yeah, I think for me, not even on a personal level, just watching from afar, once I got introduced to Adam Jones, I started watching what Adam Jones was doing. And I might have been in 8th grade and 8th, 9th grade. And then once I saw what he was doing, balling out, I think that really turned it up to another level for me. And I used to sit up and watch Adam Jones videos on YouTube and just try to emulate his movements. And that really was the main guy for me that I would just watch.
What about you, Shed?
My guy was Bonds, of course. I love to hit, so he was always on TV, going up top. And, I'm a lefty hitter, so, watching him, I would try to imitate the things that he done. And he just stuck with me for sure. When Bonds even stopped playing in the league, I started watching baseball.
Wow.
Like I was mad. Yeah, I was mad because I felt like he should have still been there. So I didn't even watch baseball for a while.
I thought you were, when we were in Pittsburgh, I thought you were doing a bunch. I thought that ball was going in the river, that ball you smoked. Talk about going up top. I was screaming for it to get out. I thought I was going to get a little sweat.
You was definitely screaming at the top of your lungs.
That's
Definitely.
right.
Talking about the one he got jammed on?
Yeah, the one he didn't even get his barrel on because he got slided back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone was put in the river. What do you guys think the conversation is going to be like when we get to spring training 2.0? Will you guys initiate a conversation with your white teammates, or do you think anybody from their side will? Or you'll just you'll be glad to see each other and let's.
I mean, honestly, everyone knows, in their heart now, since it's out and about, what they did and didn't do. If they did stand with us or not. I don't think we should go back to being, let's just be cool for the sake of it. Like, if you didn't do anything, you just didn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not here to judge you. That's how you felt. That's how you were raised. You are a Major League Baseball player. You're entitled to do whatever you want to do. But you also have to understand that maybe we won't be as friends as we were before. That's not my fault. I was born this way. So, and we have our voice to speak up, and we're not going to go crazy on nobody. We're not going to do anything to harm anybody. We're going to go about our daily business like we always do. And I think that's like, you can ask these guys. We've had teammates reach out to us, and we've pretty much told them, we're going to go about our business. We know how to fight. Like, we have the fight. If you want to stand, stand. But we can handle the rest.
How many teammates did you guys hear from?
A lot, a very lot.
Okay.
It kind of shocked me because there's a handful of them that reached out. I thought no one was going to say anything. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't expecting no texts, no calls, nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's just
what kind of stuff did they say?
They just want you to know that they're standing with us and they respect us, and they got our backs and they're rocking with us pretty much, to sum it all up.
And they want to get educated.
Right. And they want to learn, and I respect that because they want to learn, they want to make a difference, they want to help, and it's a lot. That means a lot to me. I don't know.
It means a lot to all of us. It means a lot to me too. Just wanting to help. That's what I keep telling you. Just you wanting to help. Now, mind you, I will pay attention to your actions to see if you really do want to help. Let's just be honest. But we like that step. We like that step, that reaching out and wanting to help. We more than love that, and we're so appreciative to all of them who reached out.
That is really impressive. Kyle, how about you? I know you and Evan White are tight, and a bunch of guys. What did you hear from guys?
Yeah, I heard from a lot of guys, a lot of staff too. So
yeah.
I definitely appreciate that, hearing from the staff as well. They expressed their interest and the desire to really do all they can to help moving forward, and even giving kind of some room to hold them accountable when we feel like maybe they step out of line too, which I respect that a lot, so we'll see how that goes moving forward, but I respect that first step.
That says a lot about a lot of those cats in that room, man. That's got to make you feel pretty good. I mean, a little bit more, if you will, a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
Or reassured, maybe that's a word that fits. What do you think, Shed?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to some guys, and I was happy that the guys reached out, but I'm kind of right there with D. Is like, if you want to stand, then stand. But, we fought for so long, like, we know how to fight it. So it's like, we're going to fight and stand up for ourselves regardless whether you stand with us or not. And it's not even that I'm asking you to stand. It's like, how do you really feel about it? You know what I mean? And it's just like, if you're going to act like you care and you show you care, then we're good. But if you act a different way than we're going about the business, then it is what it is. You show me your colors and I know where we stand,
You know what? The other thing I was always curious about. I thought about this a lot during this, during this all this downtime. Lord knows we got plenty of time. And coming out of last year, so you got 10 African Americans on the 40-man roster. Did you see any? As a group, how did those fellas? How did they react to having that many black guys? Because I'm sure you could tell me. I probably can guarantee it's probably the first time it's ever happened to them, right?
I think I'm gonna speak for the group on this one, if y'all don't mind, boys. I think I don't think they got a chance to even react to it, sir, because the way I command the locker room is everybody is here is someone. Every nameplate, I say this, preach this every day. Every one nameplate, to who that name goes to, he is somebody. You're going to treat him with respect, no matter who he is. You're going to come in here, you're going to say hello, you're going to be a good teammate. You're going to do everything you got to do the right way. We're going to get on each other's behind. We have a great locker room. I think that's why that worked. And me and Kyle make sure it stays that way.
You and Seager?
Yeah. And Hanny as well, Marco as well. But
that's a good group.
There's a respect. And if lines are crossed, you all know I am willing to make sure we get it back right.
I've seen that.
So I think, like I said, if I'm speaking for the group, I don't think anybody really got to feel any of that. And we didn't even notice that until we had the thing with you.
Oh, it's September.
We didn't even notice. Yeah, we didn't even. I'm just making sure I'm leading young black men, just all I'm doing. And then you're like, oh, I'm like, oh my gosh. There's so many of us. And like I said, I don't think anyone even got to that point because of the level of respect that I command from the jump from everybody.
Well, you're the senior guy. I mean, of the 10 black players on the ball club, you're by far the most senior guy. You've played 969 games. And then Malice has played 428, and CJ has played 194. Everybody else is 97 games or fewer under the belt.
Jesus.
So you better take them with you. They look to you. And, in this situation, I talked to a lot of people, you guys have 10 black guys on the team. I don't know if it was accident or design. It happened. I'm glad it did, And the other thing too, somebody mentioned earlier, it's baseball, and given the nature of baseball and given the nature of our GM Jerry DiPoto, deals will be made. So this is a time to doubly treasure that you have this much, this particular peer group together at one time in history. Because 20, 30 years ago, hey man, I was playing with a bunch of the fellas. I mean, I just, for me, I'm a lot older than you guys. I just think it's unbelievable. And I think back to if you go back and Google, it's 1971 September pennant drive. Pirates started 9.
I was going to say
9 people of color. Jackie Hernandez was the shortstop. Dude, they had Clemente and started. The club was loaded. Go back and look at that. It was an unbelievable. Danny Murtaugh said, "Hey man, I'm putting my best 9 players out there." Doc Ellis was pitching. Manny Sanguin was catching, and Dee, I know your old man. He wasn't in the bigs at that time, but he's probably in high school when that happened. But
what's funny about that, Gene Kleins is my hitting guy. You can have shit. This is my life coach.
Yeah,
that's my hitting guy and life coach. Talk to him every day. So I was finna say that, but you took it out my mouth. So I know everything about it because I talk on a daily to him, and I know that whole story very well. He's been with me since the beginning of my career, the first day.
And the other thing too that I encourage you guys to do stories like that, and stories about all the great baseball players, but for our particular situation, go back and read up on all the great black players that came after Jackie Robinson. So many good guys, Mays, Aaron, that whole crew, Dick Allen. I mean, Ernie Bank. I mean, you can just go up and down. And I look forward to next year, hopefully everything is back to normal. And when we go to Kansas City, we can all go over to the Negro Museum and Hall of Fame as a group. And I'll set it up with Bob Bob Kendrick, and we're going to have a nice morning or something there. Because
I think the guys should see that with no cameras first, though.
Okay, that's fine.
It hits me so much. Like, if you look up my numbers playing in Kansas City, I absolutely right there because I go there every time. So it gives me inspiration to look at. Like right now, I'm looking at a Satchel Paige jersey hanging up with a painting of him, Satchel, and Cool Papa. I got an autographed Cool Papa thing in my locker. You remember that? Remember you gave me the Buck O'Neil hat?
Right.
Like someone gave you. Like it does something to you.
And it's up to you guys to carry those traditions on.
That's why my socks are up. If you look right here, that's why I got on stirrups. Like,
right.
All of that is a part of it because that is me paying homage to the guys before me who didn't have a voice.
Oh, I'll say. So you see me wear 42 cap most of the time.
Right. And that's why, sorry, Mariners, but and Marlins and Dodgers, I steal my 42 jersey every year. That's coming home. Like, that's going up. Like, that's mine. This is my one day. I'm gonna take that fine.
In terms of what's going on nationally, put a final statement on it. What are your hopes and desires to get things straightened out, or make them maybe not totally straightened out, but make them better and make people understand what you have gone through, as a Black American in baseball in this country?
I just hope that we get treated as equally as everyone else.
Not better, just equal. That's it.
Equal. That's it. Just equal.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
We just want to be equal. We don't want to be better. Like, I tell my wife, like, when you hear something like or see comments, and in your heart you like, I'm a major leaguer. What if I did that to somebody who's beneath me? Then I would be a butthole. But no one else sees it that way when it's them versus somebody else. We need to be equal. Because I don't want to be scared for my friends and my brother and myself when we get in the cars. I don't want to do that. But it happens. We just want to be treated fairly. Even in sports, if we suck, we okay with sucking, but we'll find a way. That's the difference between us. We will find a way.
When we were together on another opportunity last week, talked about meeting with the police commissioner in Seattle, maybe some police officers. What kind of stuff would you like to, come out of a meeting like that? I mean, it's all part of this being black baseball player in America, and given what's going on.
I want to show them that we're scared of them too. We're petrified of them. It was just 3 cops rode up the road this morning, and I was like, oh, man. Like, that's this morning. They need to know that they don't just have the civilian, they have all of us shit. And, I have police friends, and I have to continuously let them know, I know it. All of you aren't bad. But you got to understand, you're pleading to me that all of you aren't bad. Every black person isn't bad either.
Correct.
That's it.
Yeah, I agree with Dee. And I mean, I always say it's terrible that I've literally grown up with a police officer my whole life. Like, my dad's a retired cop. So I've been with a police officer literally the 24 years of my life. And still to this day, I will pass a police officer, or a police officer passes me, and I cringe because I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen.
You're not the only one.
I'm just trying to be
You ain't
okay.
lying.
Like, a police officer, I was walking through Birmingham a few days ago, and a police officer literally, all he did was spoke to me and said, nice day outside. And I literally turned and got so scared. I'm like, what did I do? Like, why are you even saying anything to me? What did I do?
Yes.
But I live with a retired police officer. Like, that's bad. That's not good.
Not good.
Wow. JP, what about in California?
Well, I know, I'm pretty sure we all have stories about some cop stories, but, like, me and my fiance had a gun pulled on us one time for just speeding, bro, on the street. And it's like, hey, sir, like, what are we doing here, you know? And some of them don't think that we could have nice cars. We could, you know,
Is that the
we could
truth?
do this. We
That's
had tinted
happened to me.
windows. I know, like I said, it's probably happened to a lot of us, but it's just a fact that if we don't do something, like we don't follow driving rules, we could lose our life.
Mm-hmm.
And for some people, they are losing their life. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I just don't think it's fair. You see people
Right.
murdering other people, and they still don't lose their life. And we're losing our lives just for not putting our blinker on for making a left turn.
Has it been cool for you guys in Seattle so far?
No, I had an incident 2 years ago with my wife. We're in Bellevue, and we're coming out of our apartment, and it's a red light, but I'm making the right turn. So my wife and I are arguing about the GPS. It was glitching. So I'm sitting here, and then I just turn right, nothing like, and we get in the far left lane, and we just hear woo, 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 and we're like, oh snap, somebody get pulled over. We turn around, oh, it's us. I'm in a matte black SUV, and I'm like, oh God. All right, so we go pull over, and the guy goes, you just ran that red light. And I'm like, all right, sir, I'm sorry. That's literally what I said. Okay, I'm sorry. Because I'm like, I'm not going to get into it with him. My wife goes, he did not run that red light. And as soon as she says that, he starts clutching, and I'm like,
He started reaching?
yeah. So I'm nervous. I'm like, Joe, baby, please calm down. And I'm like looking for hands on the windshield. Like, baby, please calm down. Could you just please calm down? So anyway, he goes, license and registration. I said, JoJo, can you grab that, please? So as I'm telling her, she's still talking trash because he's in the wrong. And she grabs it, and he's still clutching. And I go, JoJo, be quiet. Like, he's not going to kill you. He will kill me. And she shuts up, and the guy goes back to his car, calls up another squad car. And next thing you know, he checks my stuff and realized DeVar Strange Gordon is Dee Gordon. And the guy behind him had to tell him who I was. He still came to the window and said, don't run red lights no more. I was like, yo, why didn't you just give me the ticket?
Older guy, younger guy?
Older than myself, probably 40s, 50s. Yeah, and I was soft to say going to the field.
So you guys, when you drive home after a game at night, you do the same thing I do. Hey, easy, nice and easy. Nothing to do.
You can't
I do not speed.
You stop at every light. You don't want any reason to get pulled over because they're looking for just another reason to lock a brother up. If you talk back to them, they're going to snap. If you do anything, if you question why you get pulled over, they're going to snap. It's crazy. We're taught different. When the cops pull you over, man, hands up on the wheel and just, yes, sir, no, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
No, ma'am. That is it.
Yes. Like, straight up. The worst I ever had, Dave, was actually here in Orlando. I had a Tahoe on big rims, and I got pulled over, said my tent was too dark. So he puts the little tent thing on the window. I know it's too dark. And first thing I say, sir, I know it is. I apologize. Like, you can give me the ticket. I'm in the wrong. You know what I'm saying? And he proceeds to go get the ticket and everything. And he comes back to the window. Instead of just giving me the ticket I deserve that if that's the rules. He tells me I pulled you over because last time I pulled a guy over with dark tint, it was a black guy in the car, and he had a gun pointed at me when he let the window down. I told him straight up, there's no way a black guy pointed a gun at you and both of y'all went home.
Good call. Good call.
That was the worst I've ever had.
Yeah, I've been lucky, knock wood. Kyle, you've been lucky not having any incidents like that?
Yeah, I haven't had anything where I would say it's egregious, but I've had friends, and you hear stories and everything. So it's definitely, not something that I'm just completely removed from.
Yeah. The awareness has been heightened.
For sure. I mean, even though me and D brother Nick, we were together in Pensacola when we went AA playing, and I was speeding one day, and we got stopped. I mean, it's like, first off, we got stopped, and like I'm in my Audi, so I'm in a nice car, and it's two black guys in one car for speeding. I was going like 10 over. And there were 6 police cars that pulled us over. Why do you need 6 police cars? Like, what did we do? I was only speeding. And we sat there for like 30 minutes. He wound up giving me, I had dropped my wallet in a restaurant. So literally after I got stopped, I had to go back to the restaurant and get my wallet. So I didn't have my license. I didn't have insurance. But me growing up in a police house, I know all you have to do is look up my tag number and I can give you my social, and that's all you need. I tried to tell him that because I'm like, I know. And he's like, no, that ain't gonna work. And I'm like, I know this, sir. My dad's a cop just like you. And so he still went back to the car and gave me like 5 different tickets, and I'm like, okay, but it's like, why do you need 6 police cars to pull up on a routine speeding stop?
And as Dee said, were they all clutching?
That, I mean, two on each side clutching.
There was a great black sports writer named Ralph Wiley who passed away a few years ago, but he wrote a book entitled "Why Black People Tend to Shout." It's that kind of stuff.
Because we're never heard.
Huh?
We're never heard. And then we get called emotional, man. That junk kills us. They kill us with that. They call us emotional. Like, before closing, like, do you understand? I want the people to understand how hard it is to be a black baseball player to make it. We're one of, if you go look at our little league pictures, it's us. You go to our high school picture, it's us. But what the common denominator is, it's one kid from those teams, and it's us. Like, I grew up, and sorry to say, like, they were told everybody else was better, but it's just me and my dad. Like, so we're grateful for that opportunity, sir. Like, we literally overcame every odd to be here. We weren't just talented baseball players. We had to be extra professional. We had to know when to shut up. We had to do all these things. So we have a smile and a swag and a pizzazz about us because we literally beat the odds. We're one of 68. Like, and then when something happens, you expect for us to be quiet and just play. I am a human being. I don't know about the rest of y'all, if y'all aliens or something or clones, but I'm a human. That is not gonna work. So I'm not supposed to be mad of the injustices of my people because I play baseball. Because I just overcame injustice to play this. That's not fair.
And we'll go to dinner. And my story is there's a lot of parallels to what you guys are going through. We'll talk about that another time. But I totally relate to everything you said. JP, Kyle, D, Shed, million thanks. Can't wait to see you guys in person. Let's get back to baseball. I don't care if it's 50, 80, whatever games. Let's just play. Let's just play.
Sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Hey,
Thank
thanks
you.
for having us, man. For real, we
Thanks,
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Enjoyed it. Good to see
Thank
you
you, guys.
guys.
All right, guys.
I'm Dave Sims. Thanks for joining us, everybody.